What is up guys, I'm back, and recently we got some new additions to the Nexus family. So we now have the Nexus 6, the Nexus 9 and the Nexus Player. And you have no idea how happy I am that the rumor that the Nexus line was going to be dead was just that, a rumor and nothing else. Because if you follow me on any of the social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, you'll know that I absolutely love the Nexus line. And this is why I'm extremely happy to see new items being added to the Nexus line, and just happy in general to see that the Nexus line itself is not dead. So anyway, in this video I'll just be giving you some of my first impressions and thoughts on the Nexus 6, the Nexus 9 and the Nexus Player. Starting with the Nexus 6. While the Nexus 4 and 5 was made by LG, the Nexus 6 is now made by Motorola. And it's essentially a blown up version of the Moto X, the 2014 edition that is. And we now have a 5.9 inch Quad HD display with a resolution of 2560 by 1440, Snapdragon 805 CPU, clocked at 2.7 GHz, quad-core that is, 3 GB of RAM, the Adreno 420 GPU, and a whopping 3220 mAh battery. And this is of course flagship specs, and we've always known the Nexus line to give us flagship specs for a budget price, but it isn't quite like that this time, since the new Nexus 6 is $650 US. Now you might be saying, from $350 US for the Nexus 5 to go straight up to $650 US for the Nexus 6 is a pretty big leap. But if you think about it, this Nexus 6 has basically the specs of the Note 4, and if you look at the Note 4, of contrast that is, and then you look at the price of the Nexus 6, it is still cheaper than the competition out there. But Google has already spoiled us with the budget name for the Nexus line, so that's why we probably think $650 US is too much. I personally think it is worth the $650 US, but that's just my opinion. Moving away from the hardware itself, the Nexus 6 will be running Android 5.0, so if you're trying to figure out whether it would be Android 4.5 or 5.0, it is Android 5.0, and it's called Android Lollipop, which gives us an all-new material design. It gives us the art runtime instead of Dalvik. It gives us a bunch of new optimizations, features, and it's basically one of the most polished version of Androids to ever exist, both in terms of performance and design. And if you haven't seen it as yet, I already did a video way back when the developer preview was out, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. But basically, that was a developer preview and it was extremely stable, so I can only imagine what the final product will look like. Android 5.0 or Android L, however you want to call it, Android Lollipop, will be bringing Project Volta, which should bring some improvements for battery life, but with a 3220 mAh battery life in the Nexus 6, I'm pretty sure that that is going to perform exceptionally well. But considering that it would be running a 6-inch Quad HD display does bring up a few concerns in terms of battery life. Google also guaranteed that with 15 minutes of charge, we would be able to get 6 hours of battery life on the Nexus 6. So of course, when I get the device to do my review, I will be testing that out. And this is one of the things that I must see for myself to believe. To be able to plug the device in for 15 minutes and use it for an additional 6 hours. That would be definitely impressive. Since the Nexus 6 is basically a blown up version of the Moto X, it does include that ring light around the camera, which I'm not too sure how I feel about it. But it is surrounding a 13 megapixel sensor. However, knowing Nexus in the past, the cameras haven't been much of a topic to talk about, so I'm really hoping that Google actually puts a bit more focus into the image processing side of the new Nexus 6. My two major problems that I had with my Nexus 5 was the camera, which we already spoke about, and the speaker. The speaker was just horrible on the Nexus 5. But with the Nexus 6 we get front-facing speakers, so hopefully they will be of good quality. But my impressions of the Nexus 6 is that Google intended for it to be basically a flagship device and not a budget phone or anything like that. Just a high-end flagship device. So I think they didn't really skimp on anything. So with the Nexus 5, to keep costs down, they probably went with a lower end camera and speaker. So hopefully with the Nexus 6, it being a premium device and all, we'll get some really good speakers and a camera that shows some definite improvement over the Nexus 5. Usually I'd jump at the opportunity to buy the Nexus 6, but this time the 6-inch screen is kind of a deal breaker for me because I currently use the Nexus 5 and the 5-inch screen feels just about my maximum size. Anything larger feels just way too big and it's impossible to use with one hand, in my opinion and with my hand size and all. But I was actually hoping for a Nexus device in the same physical size as the Nexus 5, but maybe included a 5.2-inch display, so I guess I'll be sticking with my Nexus 5 for now. And of course I will be reviewing the Nexus 6 for you, but whether I keep that Nexus 6 as my daily driver or sell it after the review will basically be solely based on the experience that I have with it while doing the review process. If you take a look at the new Nexus page on Google's website, you see that the Nexus 5 is actually listed there running Android L just like the Nexus 6 and the Nexus 9. So I'm guessing they aimed for The users who prefer the 5-inch screen remain with the Nexus 5 since of course it's still a high-end device, and if you prefer the phablet size you'd go for the Nexus 6. And I have no problem staying with my Nexus 5 for now, but maybe after I experience the Nexus 6 I might change my mind. As for the Nexus 9, the size itself sits right in between the Nexus 7 and the Nexus 10, and I absolutely love the extremely gorgeous design of the Nexus 9. It's now manufactured by HTC, and the absolute best part about the Nexus 9 for me is that we are getting those awesome boom sound speakers like we see on the HTC One, M7 and M8. So we are getting the iconic boom sound speakers on the Nexus 9. This will drastically improve the media consumption itself on the Nexus 9. So if you've used an iPad before or any other Android tablet with the speaker facing the back, you probably know about the cupping trick to get the audio to shoot straight at your face. But with front-facing stereo speakers, it's just going to be an insane experience. So the Nexus 9 comes packing an 8.9-inch IPS LCD display, an 8-megapixel rear-facing camera, 64-bit NVIDIA Tegra K1 CPU clocked at 2.3 GHz, and the Kepler DX1 GPU. And to power it all, we have an extremely large 6700 mAh battery. As it is right now, I have absolutely no place in my life for a tablet, because if I have to consume media through Netflix or YouTube, I can just use my MacBook. However, I do want a Nexus 9, just because it's one of the most attractive Android tablets I've ever seen, and it will be running stock Android L, and I mean it's just an amazing experience to have with that 8.9-inch display, the front-facing stereo speakers, and the extremely gorgeous design that HTC absolutely nailed. And finally we have the Nexus Player. So it's the first of its kind, it's the first device to be running Android TV. And it's basically a media device, and you can also play Android games on it. And the impressive feature about the Nexus Player is that if you're playing an Android game on it using the gamepad, so there's actually a specific gamepad for the Nexus Player, if you're playing a game, you can just quickly continue that game on your smartphone if you're on the move. It's not quite like handoff and continuity like we have with the Apple ecosystem, but the fact that it allows you to just continue playing a game on the move will be a much needed feature for some Android gamers. The Nexus Player is also cast ready, so if you know what a Chromecast does, it does exactly what a Chromecast would do, along with all its additional features. So if you're watching a YouTube video on your phone or your tablet, you can just cast it to the TV that the Nexus Player is hooked up to, and you can also cast your Android device's screen onto the TV itself. So I'm definitely excited to get my hands on these new devices in the Nexus family, and of course I'll be bringing reviews for you guys, but that's been about it for my first impressions and thoughts on all these new releases, but be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to be notified as soon as a new video is posted, definitely hit that subscribe button below. That's about it for this video guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.